Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And then pretty girl, sitting next to me is Luki. Luki, thank you for being here today. And before we get into what she's building, let's let Luki give a brief introduction of who she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. My name is Luki. I work at Chainbase as head of ecosystem and strategy. I started a Web3 career maybe 3 years ago. East Denver was my first Web3 conference a couple years ago. So it's nice to be back here every year. And this year, just not, it's a not, how do I say? It feels like home. It feels like home. So it's nice to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So before we get into more about you, can you give a brief intro of what Chainbase Network does?
Yeah, so Chainbase World Data Network. So we started as a SaaS project, if you will. It's more like Web 2 project in Web 3. We start to index blockchain data, and then we decode the data, abstract the data. So we started to have a clients who want blockchain data.
Oh,
So we became like the service provider. And then after that, we decided, we found out it's not sustainable because first of all, it's it costs a lot of resources from Chainbase, and the profit and loss just did not make sense. So we experimented with having workshops with the builders, and then we found out there are a lot of builders who wanted to customize how they get blockchain data. So then we open source the framework so that we invited all the builders to customize how they get blockchain data with us. And now Chainbase became a network so that we decentralize different layers. But our goal is to make blockchain data accessible and also useful.
So that means you have a lot of like Web2 clients as well.
So it's more of a Web2 build clients that was at the very beginning when we had the SaaS project. So we had businesses who wanted to utilize blockchain data but didn't know how to, or they didn't want to do their own like data technology, so they outsourced to Chainbase. But then after that, we open source the Chainbase technology, and now it's our client. I wouldn't say our clients. This is a network right now. It's decentralized. So we have builders who build with Chainbase, and they have their own clients.
Gotcha. So how's the journey with the story protocol there?
Yes. So it came along early last year. Oh no, actually later last year. Because what Chainbase is really wanting to do is, remember I mentioned about customizing data processing to get on-chain data. So we have builders who wanted to customize their own way of getting on-chain data. And in order to do so, they have to, after they customize, they will list it as asset. So it's knowledge as asset. And then once they put it on chain in the network, they can use it as an asset, they can trade it, they can exchange, and other developers can utilize what they have to fork it or to build on top of it. So then the builders get incentivized for having all this knowledge in the network. Well, the story protocol is because of the IP.
Right.
So we wanted to put the IP, the property, the asset property, on top of all those assets those developers have been building.
Yeah.
So it's more interoperable. They can work with other protocols, so they have IPs, and they can also use as asset or exchange as asset.
Oh, that's actually making perfect sense. So what are have you seen any interesting knowledge shared like using IP and a building on top of it? Like is there any?
Yeah. So it's very straightforward with the Chainbase. It's different data processing standards. So there is a developer who wanted to get more of NFT data. NFT data along with the certain chains of transaction data, right? So they customize the way of getting those data to sync it into their project, and they wrap it into one NFT, and that's with IP. That's with the story IP protocol.
Right.
So with that as an asset, and then another developer wanted to get a similar parameter of data. So they actually having that negotiation the term, and that's a field within the IP license. They're able to actually having that negotiation and work together based on the term they agreed upon. So it's really interesting that now, because IP really is not just about image, it's not just about music. Technology is also sexy.
Coding, right?
Right. It's like coding is also sexy. So that's the knowledge that we want to encourage all the builders to get the profits, because that's knowledge they share. That's the incentivization they should have as well.
That's actually making perfect sense, because a lot of times, like we always say in the VC world, like the idea is cheap, execution is more, right? But at some point, I feel like the idea is actually a bootstrap as well. Like it comes with like innovations. People are maybe not capable to operate, and then like a different format of knowledge is idea, which is relatively simple one. But I think that would be like a very interesting take as well. And then
it's a very much like a community driven data infrastructure. So the reason we also work with the Web2 builders is that we wanted to make sure that it's easy for them to integrate with what they're building.
Right.
So that when they see those data processing standards have already been designed, they can just use as asset. That's the most beautiful thing. They don't have to worry more about how to get the data, how to decode the data. It's just right there for them. And they can utilize those assets customized by their peers.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool.
I'm very passionate about this project. I think it's a great way to encourage builders to build with each other.
Do you have any story with story?
Any story with a story? So yes, as I mentioned, it's the IP on all this data processing. So we do have developers who are actually building with Chainbase with the IP on top of it. Once they deploy, right now they can only do the deploy on their local machine. So once we are more mature on the mainnet, then they are able to launch in the network, and then the IP with the story will be more available for everyone.
Wow, I can't wait for that. Well, let's get in a little bit spicy questions in this crypto world. What are the fuck, marry, kill? Either it could be project, person, or token, or anything for you.
What is the what?
What is the fuck, marry, kill thing for you? Oh, you probably will marry to your project to start with, but
like you're trying to say like the pretty much like the which project that I love the most?
Yes.
This is a really hard question. I have to say, my very good friend Angeli is building AI agent. The AI agent's name is Solange. That is something that I truly support. It's an AI agent that goes through all those GitHub repos, make sure that they are, especially for hackathons, there are a lot of projects. So they use their AI technology to filter out the ones they don't align with what the projects are saying, like the submission.
You should bring them to Story.
Yes. I think actually they are the hackathon judge for Story Hackathon. Yeah.
Wow, you should bring them on.
Yes. They actually brought me to Story. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a very nice protocol. I love the team. I love the concept behind the project. So yeah, we're all Story family.
Aw, awesome. I'll leave the spicy ones for later after the live stream. But very great meeting you.
Very nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.